Happy summer, all, and I hope everyone's staying cool. On tonight's episode, we have amusement parks, cars, and music. I'm going to review Busch Gardens in Kings Dominion. Also, the Rolling Stones were in a country. More on that later, too. That guy also has some thoughts about Dodge, Pontiac, and Leonid friends for you all, too. As you can see, we got a lot to cover. So sit back, have a cold one. The garage is now open.
Hey, 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 how are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you?
Okay.
We are
Welcome
back
to,
in the saddle again.
welcome back to the garage. The garage where we have fun, sit around, drink. Oh, we sit around and drink, and we just BS.
Yes.
So what say you? How you been?
Busy. A lot of things have been going on, including some phenomenal vacation time with my wife, which I'll be talking a little bit more about later here soon. Some
Sweet.
concerts, summer concerts.
Oh, my.
So
Very,
yeah, got a lot going on. How about yourself?
oh, yeah. Yeah. It's the typical, work, go to work and come. We're doing, my older son's doing a big, whoop, ah, sorry about that, folks.
Not quite done yet, folks. Stay with us.
The yeah, but it just what was I saying? Oh, my older son is doing couple big projects out in the backyard and the side yard, rebuilding some walls and
Mm, mm.
fencing and concrete area, and it just so I basically go to work, come home, help him out. Yeah,
Yeah, the good old summer home improvement project
yeah,
fun.
oh yeah. Well, but that's okay because in July is going to be car month. Because I
Ah,
have, car shows galore. You I have the Vintage Grand Prix that I'm making sure I get to.
excellent.
Um, I'm going to be working on my project car, to get get further on the braking system, and then, I'm going to try to fit in Carlisle, PA, because that's where, you know, Dodges reside.
Yes.
Like it's Chrysler's at Carlisle, they call it. So
Nice.
you can't go wrong with that, especially if you're a guy like me that likes the Dodges.
So then your fun is upcoming still, and you get to do later review episodes on your travels.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and
Okay.
also too, we are going to be taking a short trip down to Kentucky to visit some distilleries, bourbon distilleries.
Mm-hmm. Now we're talking.
Yeah, my older son and my father-in-law like bourbon a lot. So I'm more of a beer guy. That's what we do here in the garage. Drink beer. You know,
Yes. Yes.
when,
There's a time and a place for both. I happen to enjoy them both. So
hmm
that'll be great.
yeah. So how was these trips? I mean, do tell, man.
Yeah, so I got a few reviews to talk
I
about.
live vicariously through you because I don't get to go all of the amusement parks like you do.
Well, let's talk about it then a little bit. So, yes, my wife and I, we were fortunate enough to be able to go to both Kings Dominion and Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Oh,
And
sweet.
Kings Dominion was in Doswell, Virginia. So we spent one day at each park, and that was all that was really needed because the lines were very short, which was excellent. We over prepared though and got all of the fast lanes just in case and food deals that the packaged food deal there. So both parks were quite good and excellent. We primarily only rode the roller coasters. Um, and I'll start with Busch Gardens. Let's start with Busch Gardens. So that was the first one we went to.
Where's that at again?
That one's in Williamsburg, Virginia, so it's getting close to like Southeast Virginia, getting closer to the ocean almost.
Okay.
Probably I would say about an hour southeast of Richmond, the state capital.
Hmm.
Maybe another 30, 40 minutes north of Norfolk and Virginia Beach or something like that. Awesome park, very expensive. Um,
Aren't they all nowadays?
yeah, but this one was like twice the amount as
Oh
King's
wow.
Dominion. And I was wondering why. But I do have to admit, and now after having experienced it, it is an amusement park that has various European country themes to each section of the park.
Wow.
Um, So the pomp and circumstance and decorations of the park were really, really well done.
Oh,
So I
sort
can
of
see,
like Epcot, maybe.
yeah, yeah, it does have
Okay.
that feel to it. And the food was absolutely amazing. So I can see why maybe there was an increased expense to upkeep some of that because when you get to the certain sections of the park, so let's say you were in Germany, it felt like when you were walking through the pathway that you were in a small little German town. When you got
Huh.
to France, it felt like you were in the streets of Paris or something like that. Same
Oh
with
wow.
Italy. So, and they were all themed that way. And the food was, of course, themed for the particular country's area as well. So that was one thing that stuck out.
Hmm.
Busch Gardens had 9 roller coasters. We got to ride them all. And some of them got to ride multiple times.
Oh
Uh,
nice.
the the best one by far, in my opinion, was their newest roller coaster, which is called Pantheon, and it is in the Italy section of the park. And frankly, the Italian section had the most roller coasters in the park. They had 3. So there was Pantheon, Tempesto, and Apollo's Chariot. Were all in that section of the park, and they were all great. One, you have to be in the right mental space to ride because it will mess with you physiologically, and that's Tempesto because it goes all over the place. It's very short and it's like a one-track ride, but it's all over the place. But Pantheon, back to Pantheon, because Pantheon was just absolutely freaking amazing, mind blowing. I wrote it 3 or 4 times, I think, and it does some unexpected things that I've never encountered on a roller coaster before. So it would like speed up in certain spots, like it had an extra wheel going through specific spots. Yep, that would be it. And it's a double launch roller coaster, as you can see on the left there, the left side of the picture where it looks like it's Zeus's or Apollo's trident there or something like that that's sticking up. That's the back end. So you start out and you go through some twists and turns, and then you go up this hill, and you think you're gonna make it to the top of the hill, but you don't. You stop, and then you go backwards, and then as you're going backwards, the wheels on the track speed up and you go faster going backwards at different points and you don't see it or know when it's coming. So that throws you
Wow.
through a loop. And then you go up that big back end that you can see in that picture there. And then you stay up there for a hot minute and then it launches you back down. So that's the double launch part. And then you go through and it does some weird, wacky, wild, all kinds of hoops and hills and curves and bends, and it's just a phenomenal ride, phenomenal experience. 2.5 minutes worth your time.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, definitely rode that one the most because it was the best there. um, we went on a very, very hot day,
Ooh.
so we were quite parched and weren't feeling 100% the entire time, but we made it through. We were good troopers and we made it through. But yeah, the Busch Gardens definitely worth doing at least once, but you do have to save up some money in order to accomplish it. But the other sections of the park were great too. Like they had at least one roller coaster in all of the different country sections. And then just because they wanted to highlight other areas as well, they would have these sort of like little pop-up smaller areas in the park where they would have food or drinks or shops that were catered to other types of areas or countries. So there was like a shop for Canada, there was a food place for Jamaica. So they were highlighting and exposing other countries and cultures of the world as well. The gift shops were the other thing that stood out at Busch Gardens. They were quite intense and also very expensive, but some really high quality stuff. For example, in the Germany section, they had these large steins that were made in Germany from Germany that you could buy, and they ranged in price from like 80 to $300, however much you wanted to spend on them. Yeah, that's part of the German section for sure. So yeah, that's just an example. So my wife, we went to like this little gift shop that was sort of Canadian themed and bought some maple syrup. That was quite expensive, but we didn't
Still,
realize what the price was until after we took it to the cashier. But it was good. It was good.
it, a lot of times too, you got to remember is stuff like that. It's not like you're buying syrup from Amazon, so
Right.
it's going to be a good one. So, and
Yeah.
besides, it's not like you go there every year to buy it. There every year.
Yeah, and that's what we sort of, we set our mindset on. You're like, we're here once. We're gonna do everything we need to do. We're gonna buy a couple things. That's fine. It's fine. It's not like we live in Williamsburg and visit it every year.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will say too, the staff they were all phenomenally nice.
Oh, wow.
Everyone that was in the park, from the minute we parked, the person that showed us where we were going to park and was talking to us about stay hydrated today. You're allowed to take 2 bottles of water. Like they were just jovial and cheerful. Everyone that were running the coasters that we were on were awesome. You can tell they wanted to be there. They cared about being there, and they weren't just going through the motions.
Yeah,
that was nice as well. It was a good trip.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds. Hey, you had me at everyone. Was really great. The staff was really great.
Yes.
That makes it just even that much better. Whenever they do something like that.
It definitely was. It felt like a warm, welcoming environment the entire time we were there, and I just couldn't get over like the different themes of the sections of the park by country, and like the names of the rides were definitely catered to those countries. So like they had an England, Scotland, Ireland section, and of course the coaster in that area was called the Loch Ness Monster, which I've talked about before on other streams that we've done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of cool to see how they played off of those different countries and the themes around them. Another roller coaster was called Verbolten, which took you through. Oh, that was a great ride too. It took you through the Black Forest in Germany, right? And you had no idea the way this coaster was presented to you going into it and riding it. You had no idea what to expect in the middle of the ride. And in the middle of the ride, it's pitch black, and you stop at some point, and the track falls about like 10 or 12 feet onto another track. Yeah, the car falls. And you're in pitch black. It completely takes you by surprise. And then you catch on to the next track and then wind your way through the end of the ride. So, but there was nothing that would signify that that's even going to happen.
Yeah.
As you approach the ride, when you're waiting in line, it's not marketed or designed in any way that gives that away. So that was a pretty cool ride. It reminded us of Hagrid's Great Adventure roller coaster down in Orlando.
What was the name of that?
Verbolten, Verbolten. Yeah, but so that was obviously in the German section of the park.
Yeah, I want to check. I'm just checking this coaster out.
Yeah, it was probably the second or third best coaster, in my opinion, at that park. Just because of that one section, that middle section that they take you through in the dark spot. and then the track completely falls and you fall down with it. It was
Wow.
great.
The well, they don't okay. Yeah,
It,
they don't have they have like something like this. It no, they supposed to be cars or
yeah. So the cars that you're riding are designed to look like a VW Bug, or a specific, a specific car. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's great. It's like it catches you through, it throws you through a loop because you're not expecting that at
Huh.
all. It looks like an innocent, smaller coaster, to be frank, but boy, it's
Yeah.
got some whips and turns in it in that dark section. That
You get in, sit down, hang on, and shut up, or
yeah,
not
yeah,
necessarily shut up.
totally caught us off guard, and we tried really hard not to watch any POV videos of any of these coasters before riding them because we wanted to be surprised, and boy, were we surprised on that ride for sure.
See, but that's the only thing with POV videos for like coasters. It's great to kind of get the feel of it, but you like it's hard to say. The like Billy Billy Joel said the one time he's like, I don't get the live CDs, live concert CDs. You have to be there to have the atmosphere and get
Yeah,
the roar of the crowd and everything. Well, it's the same thing as like POV videos for coasters and rides and all that. It's great to kind of go, yeah, I do remember that, but I mean, I see your point though. But also on the flip side, if I'd watch one of those, I'd still be going, makes me want to ride it even more.
yeah, yeah. I can see both sides of the argument too, because like I have the flip side of that same argument when I go to like a concert. I want to prepare and learn some of the artist's songs as much as I possibly can. So if they do play them, then I
Yeah.
know what I'm getting into a little bit. So yeah, I'm a hypocrite, I guess, in some
Nah,
way.
nah. Hey, everyone, likes like my younger son, he likes whenever he wants to watch a movie, he's like, I don't want any spoilers or TV shows. I don't want any spoilers. I want to
Yeah,
watch it right now. I'm like, if it's that good of a movie or that good of a TV show, I'll get a spoiler. I'll still want to go watch it.
yeah, exactly. That's true. That's
Case,
true.
case in point, Iron Man 4, everyone's like, oh, Pepper dies. I'm like, wait, what? No, I'm not going to watch. So I ended up finding it online, scrolled all the way to the end where I'm like, oh, she didn't. Okay. I still want to go see the thing
Yeah,
even
right,
more.
right, right. Yeah,
So I mean, it's a catch 22 on that, but I see your point though.
it is, and I am going to hold on to my hypocrite status because for certain things, I'm down for it. Listening to songs before a concert. Other things, I don't want to see POVs. I don't want to see trailers for most movies because I feel like trailers give a little bit too much away. So I'm
Oh, okay.
surprised by the movie. So,
Oh,
but again, to each their own. To each their own.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yes, Busch Gardens was phenomenal. Definitely worth a one-time trip if you can swing it. It's not too terribly far of a drive from a lot of where we are located in the country. It was good. Shall I move on to Kings
Yeah,
Dominion?
sure. By all
Okay.
means.
So we took a day in between two parks, which was needed because we were quite sore
I
after
would
Busch
imagine so.
and needed to recoup hydration wise because, like I said, it was really hot.
Oh, yeah.
So we went to King's Dominion, and it was a much cooler, much more pleasant day. So that helped from the get go. And I have to say, the layout of the park was was really nice. And also, the entrance had that sort of European flair to it,
Mm-hmm.
but the park is not divvied out by countries like um, Busch Gardens is. It's got that. Some of the Cedar Fair parks have that entrance with the Eiffel Tower. So, like Kings Island has this with the Eiffel Tower. Well, it was the same with King's Dominion. You enter the park, you see the Eiffel Tower, and then the shops line both sides of the entryway, eating shops, gift shops, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
More so with that European flavor and flair to it. Beautiful flowers everywhere. Everything was nice. And then you really just kind of start at your left and hit the first roller coaster and then just follow the park all the way around and hit everything. It's a well-designed park from that perspective.
Oh,
Unlike Cedar Point, Cedar Point's much more, there's a lot more walking involved, and you got to know where you're going to get to certain places because they're tucked in and you have to go certain directions
yeah.
in order to get to certain rides. This was one big loop and you hit everything during the loop. So, um, there are 10 roller coasters at King's Dominion, and most of them were all also really great as well. And the highlight for me personally was I've never ridden any roller coaster like this before in my life. It was called Tumbili, and it was in this newer section of the park that's still being sort of built out, that has this sort of either African safari or jungle theme kind of going
Yeah.
with that section of the park. And this roller coaster Tumbili is one of the wildest rides I've ever been on in my life. It's also a very small track, and it's painted in a way to make it look like bamboo. And I don't even know how to describe it. Like, the car that you're on rotates 180 degree, like it goes through, or 360 degrees. It's a complete circle. Depending on where in the ride you're going, that thing could flip around. Your individual car could flip around on the track. And the way the track's laid out, the momentum carries you, and flips your car as you go through the track. And
What was the name again?
I think it's pronounced Tumbili. It's Tumbili. And I couldn't get enough of it. My wife looked at me and she was like, "You're riding that by yourself." And I was like, "Okay, I'll see you in 15 minutes." Um, which was also great because there was no line for that ride either. And I rode that one 4 times because it was. I couldn't get enough of it because I just never experienced anything like that before.
That's holy cow. That's
Yeah,
freaky.
yeah.
That is hold
If
on a second. That is freaky.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you can share the picture, or yeah, because it was wild, totally wild.
That
There it
is.
is, folks. That's it. So you
And
go up that hill on the left, and then you kind of just follow that track as you go to the right, and you can kind of see it. The individual cars there are on the second part there, and they flip just throughout that ride, the entirety of that ride, as you go through those bumps, and then you go through the next layer of the track and everything like that.
wow.
Totally wild ride. It lasts less than, I don't know, probably 45 to 60-second ride. And but
I,
man, when those cars flip, you can't see anything. You don't know what's coming up. You just flip and you're like, all right, if I die, I die. I don't know. I can't see the track.
kind of like the Aero 360 on roller coaster tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
definitely that. So I would say that was the highlight of King's Dominion. They have another phenomenal roller coaster in the back end of the park, though, it called Twisted Timbers, and it essentially is the the child of the Great Steel Vengeance ride at Cedar Point. It essentially does a lot of the same types of things, and just at a smaller scale.
Hmm.
But that might be my close. The Steel Vengeance coaster might be secretly my favorite coaster of all time now. So, Twisted Timbers on a smaller scale still packs a huge walloping punch
Uh,
and is probably the most exhilarating, more traditional roller coaster at King's Dominion, but I still think that Tumbili is the most unique. Yes, that is Twisted Timbers, and they play off of like a country apple orchard, with some twisted trees as its main logo kind of theme. So that was also a phenomenal coaster, at that park. Um, They have a couple wood ones, at least. No, I'm sorry. They have one wood one left, which is great. It's called the Grizzly. We rode that a couple times. But yeah, that Twisted Timbers is it's like a hybrid steel wood frame, steel track. So it's exactly kind of like what exactly Steel Vengeance is doing. But the cool things about both Steel Vengeance and Twisted Timbers, the track goes within itself all over the place. So if you're a raise your hand roller coaster rider like I am, I can't tell you how many times you ride those two rides and it feels like, oh, my hands are going to hit because I'm it would. We're going through the middle of the ride. It's going inside of itself. So yeah, great ride.
That looks. Oh wait, here's something to. They get some fun. People put on some fun pictures on here. Um, that shows you
Oh
twisted
yeah,
timbers.
how it
They ain't kidding.
how it twists and turns. Like yeah,
And then you got the steel in there, and
yep yep
but then you
yep.
got the wood substructure.
And it's that the way that track is lined out, that's exactly how it feels. So like 1 minute you're pretty much straight like this, and then within a half second you're like over this way or over this way, and just looping inside of the entirety of the ride. It's a wild trip.
Wow, that's that looks like it would be an intense coaster.
It is. It
Not as
is.
not as intense as a twisted or not the last one you said.
Yeah,
Tumbile,
Billy. Yeah.
Tumbili.
Yeah. The only unfortunate thing was there was one roller coaster, their largest roller coaster and fastest roller coaster is out of commission right now because we found out after the fact. It used to be called Intimidator 360 or something like that. And they had lost the license to the word Intimidator because it was a Dale Earnhardt themed roller coaster.
Ooh,
So now they are rebranding and reimagining that ride. So essentially, it's going to go through a rehaul. So it was just completely and totally closed, which stunk. um,
oh yeah.
but what are
Well,
you
it's
going
kind of like you mean like how the Steel Phantom went turned into the Phantom's Revenge.
to? Yeah, I think essentially they're going to keep the majority of the track probably the same, but I would imagine maybe they add one or two embellishments here or there. They're probably going to change the color scheme and then just rename it at some point.
Yeah,
And maybe like you know how they have decorative designs outside of the coaster, they'll probably have to change all of that experience as well based on what they brand it and rename it
yeah,
as
yeah.
a new thing. So that was a big bummer that one wasn't there. But again, we went at the perfect time. The lines were very small. We didn't have to have a fast lane, but we had it for that just in case. And between the two parks, so we rode 19 roller coasters. I rode 19, a total of I rode a total of 38 rides. Of those 38 rides, 19 coasters. Um, Obviously some of them more than once.
The so you kept it all. Don't I'm sure you kept it in this app here.
Absolutely. Got my log ride
So
updated. Yes.
so do you have this is yours? I mean, you have 4,800 coaster rides in
No, that is one day maybe, hopefully. 3,600 parks visited. Yeah.
and 5,900 attractions.
Yeah. But I did update my stats and I think I now have ridden 85 unique roller coasters in the US.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Some of them are defunct or are reimagined. But yeah, I counted them when they were I technically rode them when they were still active.
You just reminded me. Uh, talking about. Uh, Hang on a second here. Talk amongst yourselves. Uh, the reimagining and closing and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
This, I I understand that you have to update it, but I don't know. Certain rides like, I mean, they're
Oh.
who knows with Disney and what they're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
the I mean, if they just basically put some window dressing on it. um I don't know why they always have that. There we are. If they put some window dressing on it and still keep the core of the ride, I can kind of see that. But you know I don't know. It's more fun as test track, I would say. you
Yeah.
know
I'm in total agreement with you. I usually hate these reimaginings. Um, but I would also, I'm going to be a hypocrite here for a hot second
uh-oh.
and say that I really, 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 really cared about um, the old Mean Streak at Cedar Point, which
Hmm.
was a massive wood roller coaster. Um, and when they announced that they were going to reimagine it because of X, Y, and Z reasons, because I'm a huge wooden roller coaster fan, and I feel like we're losing those more and more as time goes on. So I was
Oh
not
yeah.
in favor of losing this coaster. Well, that is the one that became Steel Vengeance that I mentioned earlier.
Hmm.
And I have to admit they did a phenomenal job with it. It is completely different. It's a completely different experience, but the spirit of what the old Mean Streak was is still present in Steel Vengeance, and
Oh
that's what I appreciate. Now, back to your point, I hope they're going to do the same thing with this particular ride at Epcot. Hopefully, they'll keep the spirit of that ride somehow, some way, but um, unfortunately, they are going to change it and reimagine it. It sounds like.
yeah. That's the, like you said, with losing roller coaster, wooden roller coaster. I'm a classic. You can't go wrong with the clickety clack as you're climbing the chain hill there, and just it just has it goes back to the like, do you like cool white light bulbs or do you like soft white light
Yeah,
I it all depends. There obviously you wouldn't want, say, in our local park here, the Phantom's Revenge. You wouldn't want that to be wooden. You'd be like, no, that's not that, and you can't get it as fast and high and all that stuff. But you can't. I don't know. You can't take away all of that. All the because that's where things started out. You got to still keep
great.
you know, and that's what's nice with places like uh, I think it's Ace, American Coaster
Yes,
Enthusiasts, and then their landmark push for landmarks and stuff like that. So just to keep certain, like, even if you keep, say, for a numbers perspective, you have 20 coasters and you at least keep maybe half of them as designated landmarks, so you can't change it. You got to keep
yes,
it up to date and all that. um, Case in point, the Leap the Dips out in, well, what used to be Lakemont Park out in Altoona, PA.
yeah,
That I saw the video on that where someone was going in. Apparently, there's new owners for it. They took out everything except for the bumper. I think it was the bumper cars. No, the old time cars. The Leap the Dips, and I forget the other name of the other coaster.
yeah. I forget it too right now, but I know what you mean.
But the well, Leap the Dips they can't do anything with because I think that is under historic landmark. But the other coaster is kind of questionable, and it's like I don't want that to go away because that was a wooden coaster. And
Yes,
the cool thing about it is when we went out to go, like when my wife and I were dating, oh, these many years ago, I drug her out there because I wanted to ride the Leap the Dips, and we rode that other roller coaster. And the cool thing, at least at that time, was you get on, you ride the coaster, they come back into the station, and then the attendant goes, "So you was that good? Was that fun? You want to ride again? You want to ride? Come on with it." And then they let you go around for a second time.
Yeah.
And that was really cool, though. Not many places do you like does the it may have been just due to there was no one really in line. It may have been who knows what, but nonetheless, though, they let everyone stay on and go for a second time.
Yes.
So
Is
yeah,
the is
go
the
ahead.
other one's name Skyliner?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's hopefully they keep the Skyliner. I That's another I can't think of his name on Facebook. I think it's Matt Klemick or something like that. He's
That great channel or page he has. Yeah.
yeah, it's all like everyone donates pictures to I'd have to do you know who I'm talking about?
I do because you shared the page with me because I didn't even know it existed.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I forget his name too. It's like historic coaster. His page is like historic coaster or something like that.
yeah, and the whole thing about it is to basically have a couple pictures and
Matt
be
Blue Map.
but yeah. Yeah, so you anyone everyone's got to look him up and like, if you like coasters and all that, and have his, Facebook community blow up there, like make it even twice the size, because it just he keeps, takes pictures of the stuff, and brings back memories and all that, to keep that stuff alive. I mean, that's
Definitely, definitely. His community is called Historic Coaster Foundation, folks. Go follow it. Go join it.
join it, follow it. Just it's if you like coasters, that's between that and then also I think it was Theme Park Review. Is
Mm,
that the other one? Um,
it might be.
whoop, wait. Oh, yeah. That's that is let's do this and some of this, some of this, some of this. Yeah, Theme Park Review is what it is. Not wow, 90 almost 94,000 total members.
Very
Members.
nice. Very nice.
1.8 million total posts.
Well, you
Wow.
can definitely get your fix on this site then. Whew.
Yeah, that's and then there's like video threads, and
Oh, that's so cool.
I mean he goes all over the place.
Gonna have to
Uh,
check this out later.
yeah, it's it's definitely a fun yeah, because oh, okay, they even the roller coaster tycoon video or game. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. I'm getting off topic here.
But some cool places for you all to check out afterwards. So yeah, those are my two coast or amusement park trip sort of reviews. They were
Oh,
both phenomenal places. We had a blast at both of them.
it sounds like you had a yeah. I want to say it sounds like you had a blast. Like I said, I live vicariously through you.
Yes, but your fun's coming up as well too. So
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. It'll be quite interesting to see a distillery tour. I've
yeah,
never seen any of that type of stuff, so yeah. I'll definitely have to take some pictures and bring some pictures back.
just make sure to ride no roller coasters after a couple of those.
No, that would be bad news. Bad news.
Probably have a tough night afterwards.
No, what I would do is sit down and listen to. I found this group that I don't know if we could kind of switch gears or switch
Yeah,
tracks. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
the I feel like you ever see Vice Grip Garage on YouTube? This guy goes around all around. I guess the United States, digs out these old barn find cars,
Mm,
gets them running somewhat to where he can go and turn around and drive them all the way back to his shop.
yeah.
I mean, there's some, but whenever he goes in, you just see he's holding the camera and he's going down. All you see him doing is, sparklators and things like that. And, it's like, he's just a funny guy to watch.
Yeah.
So if you're ever bored one day, look up Vice Grip Garage on YouTube.
Okay. Vice
But
grip.
this group that I found, let me see if I can, um, well, I guess. Oh, we'll do have you ever you've heard of Chicago, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The
Yes.
25 or 624.
Absolutely.
The, well, let me see.
Terry Kath might be one of the most underrated guitarists of all time. Rest his soul. He left us too early and too young. So yes, I know a little bit about Chicago.
Okay, good. Well, you know their song then. So,
Mhm.
oop, let's do this. Back it up here. And, uh, that and that. So imagine you got the actual real Chicago playing through your head 25 or 64, and then you got these guys coming in and going.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with
No.
that. I mean,
No. That is
that
my favorite Chicago song too.
you got to listen to the whole thing. I mean, that guy, the lead singer, I'm still learning their names and all that stuff. But the lead singer there, the main guy, Leonid, I think he said he knew him for like 25 years or something like that. And he wanted him to sing because he's pretty much, almost a copy of, was it Peter
Cetera.
Cetera? Yeah. The, but I mean, if it wasn't for the accents, it would be like next to nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, let's put it this way. Whoop, ah, I hate that whenever I click on another link and it's,
Yeah. Right.
but and then they do a lot of Chicago covers, but then they've done Earth, Wind, and Fire. They have a bunch of their stuff that they do, and holy cow, I'd have to, I'm not trying to think what her name is, but she like the lead, not the lead singer, the female singer on there. Holy
Okay.
cow, that's I'm just trying to quickly look through here, but just the I'll find it later. But she's like, I think they said she's a linguist or something like that, knows like
Mm,
4 or 5 different languages. And if you listen, she does a Carpenter song.
mm.
You listen to that, it's like you're just sitting there go, wow. I mean, it's I just can't get enough of them. I mean, because they all the different songs that they do, and then there's a couple what do you call it's on there that oh yeah, they have this one guy as best friends Leon best studio session playlist where there's like you know an hour or two of all their stuff, because they do a lot of stuff, the studio cuts and so forth. But this let me see if I can hold on a second here. Oh, well, I'll just do the yeah.
I
Hold
can
on.
slightly hear it.
Yeah. Well, I'll let me put this back on.
Oh,
That
okay.
that dude's good singer as well too.
So how did you find these folks?
I the funny thing with that is all I did was I was playing a I was I was just watching YouTube. let's let's try to make it easy. I was just watching YouTube. This commercial came on because I don't have the premium YouTube,
Hmm.
and it was them just saying it was a commercial for their world tour. Uh, and but it came up and I was thinking it was Chinese or something like that, but it must have been Russian.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm like, what the heck is this? I'm thinking, something like hacked into my, my web browser. I'm like, okay, I'm shutting that out quick, you
Yeah.
know, only to find it later on a like on the feed on the side. I'm like, why'd that? And like, I wonder all about it. Played that song. Holy cow! I was like, dang, it just somehow it popped up in my feed because you know how if you listen to this music or that music
Right,
that
right.
it starts feeding you all kind of stuff.
So
I
the
tr-
algorithm got you.
at least for these guys, holy cow, yeah. And I'm fine with it because they're actually coming to Pittsburgh uh, in September, and I'm going to see them. So taking the wife, I'm going to see them. You know,
Live music, baby. Woo!
yeah,
Concerts.
exactly.
Yes.
Outside of the Clarks, I finally got to see the Clarks live. I think this past Thanksgiving. Uh, got
Oh,
to see them live, and then this spring I got to see Scott Blasey do a solo show. So between those two, and then this one will be like the third one concert I've seen like for quite a while, like
that's great.
in a long time.
That's great.
But
Well,
yeah,
I
you have to listen to them.
yeah, especially that the 25 or 6 to 4 for sure, because that is my favorite Chicago song. I know that is the big one, and it's probably not a deep cut. Like I'm sure all the Chicago fans out there are like, "Oh, there's somebody out there you need to listen to," which I know, but that one hits hard, and I've always loved that song. So we'll definitely check that out for sure. And so happy that
Oh,
you get to see them live.
yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. The it. Sorry, I'm just trying. I was trying to play another little clip here. The let's do this. Sorry for interrupting there.
No, all good.
Even in live, that not in the studio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
The
checking this
and
out.
the saxophone player's a nut. I mean, he some of the stuff. The whole horn section is
Yeah.
funny. The one video I saw, they're bouncing all around. During their time that they're playing, and like and that's one of the fun. That's fun. That's one of the things I definitely like. If you see a group that's having even just having a blast on stage, it makes it even better.
Oh yeah.
I
It
mean,
adds experience, no doubt, because they're it's probably that symbiotic thing where it's like they're feeding off the energy of the audience is feeding off the energy from them as performers and everything like that too. So yeah, absolutely agree.
yeah. It's just it'll be a fun concert, I think. So
That's amazing. Good for you. I'm happy that you'll be able to enjoy that live. Um, yeah, yeah. I'm always a proponent of live music and concerts. So do your thing, man. Do your thing.
oh yeah, well, yeah. That's I'm going to see. Was it? I'm gonna try to see Straight No Chaser, the a cappella group in December. They're coming back to this area, so I'm going to see if I can go see them. But
Cool.
that's the other thing too, though, is like the tickets for these guys were only like 45, $50.
Yeah.
I think it was like with fees and everything, it's probably about $60.
Right.
So whereas when I saw Billy Joel come to town,
Yeah.
or the cheap seats were like $100,
Yeah.
or 110. I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's not inexpensive anymore. It's a lot. Or like the Rolling Stones are not cheap either
I
anymore.
I can only imagine on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh but are worth every penny because they still sound amazing, and it's insane to see 80-year-old Mick Jagger dance around like he's still 45 or 50 years old up there on stage. So you talk about, show and energy and enthusiasm and get you going in the crowd. He still does. It's crazy. I just saw it. So
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
I'm glad you had a blast there.
Yeah, so context for the audience. My dad and I, for Father's Day weekend, the Stones came to Cleveland, and anytime the Stones come anywhere close to us, we have to go see them because that's my fourth favorite band of all time. So we went, and it was an absolutely marvelous time. They played at the Brown Stadium because they can fill it, and they did. And they played for a solid 2 hours, which is insane. Again, Mick is going to turn 81 next month. Keith is going to turn 81 in December. Ronnie's 77, and they're filling stadiums and still jamming out and having a good time. And we are as well in the audience. So it was great. We had so much fun. We dance when we go to concerts. We had so much fun and danced so hard that after the concert was over, two different people came up to us afterwards and said, "Are you father and son?" It's like, "Yes." "We enjoyed watching you as much as we enjoyed watching the Stones tonight because you guys were having a blast." And I'm like, "Whoops." And you're welcome. And yeah, that's what we do. We love them. We can't help it.
That's our gym.
Yeah, exactly. So it was totally worth it. Perfect night. It was like 64 degrees,
Oh well,
clear. Oh, yeah.
have
It
a
was.
beer or two. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Or three.
yeah. Hey, that's it. You're going out and having some fun. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah. Yeah. We were able to park in a lot that allowed for tailgating. So we essentially, we brought our own sandwiches and
Oh, okay.
drinks and everything like that. So we made a day of it, and it was so cool because we parked ended up parking next to two really awesome people, a husband and wife that we talked to them for like 3 hours. We just back and forth, this song, that song, other artists, other groups, other music, and then we all walked over together. It was like we made new friends.
Can't go wrong with that.
No, no. And then the set list, we got a couple surprise songs because most of the times you see these legacy acts, they play the greatest hits, right? Which is what most of us want, but
Yeah.
you still want to hear some deep cuts every once in a while. So we got about two or three deep cuts, and then they also put out a new album last year, so we got three songs off the new album too. So
Oh,
a good third of the set list was either new songs or deep cuts, and that was really cool to experience for a first time too.
yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
But
Uh,
yeah, they still got it. I hope they keep going, man. When it was over, I almost cried a little bit because it was it was such a fun time, and you get to do it with I got to do it with my dad, so you get that
oh, it's even.
extra memory bonding experience.
Mm-hmm. Hey, as long as you got some pictures, you got. Yeah, you can potentially print out frame and all that stuff. There you go. That makes
Absolutely,
you can go. I remember that exactly.
yes, absolutely. We bought a T-shirt, to commemorate it and everything. So good to go.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. The I did want to mention though, without I didn't want to rain on the. It's been fun tonight.
Hmm.
I've had a blast. Got to get caught up, on your travels there. I got to, tell about a fantastic group that I had just found. Yes, you got to go out and listen to them. You got to find them on YouTube, subscribe to them, help them out in any way if they come to your town. Leonid and Friends,
Yes.
great group. I mean, I've kind of heard cover groups before, but these guys are like, let's put it this way: these guys are so good that they Chicago found out about them and put their channel up or a link to them up on their official page, Chicago's official page.
Wow.
So if you're impressing the original group that much, like holy cow, you're doing it better than us. Wait a second now, and then they put your link to your stuff on their page. You know you're doing good.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
you're doing good.
Definitely.
But the let's take it down a couple notches and I'll make this quick because I think the garage getting ready to close here shortly. So but the I was watching the one channel on yes, I want to help add and stomp on the idiot known as Stellantis,
Hmm.
idiot in chief.
The idiot chief.
Yeah, I mean, he, arrogant mistakes. Yeah, right. He, no, it just, he's saying that, he's aiming to fix issues that lead to sales declines, bloated inventories, and aim to fix what? You know, it just, this guy does not know his head from a hole in the ground, to put it bluntly. I mean, this dude kills off. They come to the electric car game late. The RC cars, I like to call it. Because really, I mean, electric EVs, they run off of software. How are they going to get software updates over the air, whether you pay for it or not?
Hmm.
Yeah. So whenever it's over the air, well, gee, hackers galore. They
Hmm.
they can get in and hack your car. Yeah. Oh, will they? No, not necessarily, but there still is that chance. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So they come to the RC car game late. So then they couldn't have, like, Ford has their EV cars and GM has their EV cars. Ford's still doing the Mustang. The V8 Boss Ford Cobra Mustang. Um, GM still doing the Corvette. Z01 is a hybrid, actually. It's got an electric motor in the front and good old V8 power in the back. This guy right here, this guy he doesn't want to pay for credits. Kills off the Hemi, kills off the Challenger. Um, then does this V6 turbocharged V6. Just the Dodge Charger alone is just not, to me, not that good looking. Um, it just, yeah, it's not.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, that's just not. I don't know. That looks like, I don't know if you remember back in I think it was the '90s, a Ford Taurus. It looked like
Yeah.
a bubble, like a egg, yeah, egg
Yeah.
on wheels. That's kind of what reminds me of this. And then the best part is this is the Banshee, and all they do is they have fake noise exhaust, fake exhaust noises, with a speaker. Um, it just, yeah, and then I think they have, I forget what else they have to make it feel like it's shaking like an engine.
Hmm.
And then it actually has supposed to have, I think, shift points on it and all this fake stuff to make it make you think it's a regular car. Okay, sure, it's got 1,000 horsepower, but yeah. So it's like it's not a matter of how much power you have. It's a matter of like, you can't. It just. I mean, what would you rather have, that or this? I mean, this has the looks to it. Uh,
Yeah.
This has got the balls to throw you back in the seat as well too. It just. But Carl, good old Carlos, he doesn't know his head from a hole in the ground. Still gets a payout of what I think they said $39 million paycheck,
I would imagine. Yeah.
even though his the sales number is declining. Like the Butters web YouTube channel, the one video he did, he was showing that the Challenger handily outsold the Alfa Romeo. It was like it was the top of like the sales lists and all that stuff. It was number one, I think. Between Ford and Chevy and all that stuff. He goes and kills the number one thing, kills the Hemi, which yeah, I mean all the car guy, the car enthusiasts loved,
Hmm.
and gee,
Hmm.
I wonder why their sales dropped.
Yeah.
And they go,
Exactly.
I
You're
mean,
killing your primary market.
yeah, exactly. And they don't get it. They want to go and whoops, they w- they want to go and do all this stuff and not pay for that, and then apparently what Butter said is he wants to take an Alfa Romeo, the crown jewel as he puts it, Alfa Romeo, and then put different bodies on top of it, have the Alfa Romeo platform. Like I'll never buy another Dodge. Dodge, in my opinion's died 2023. Unfortunately, at the end of it, see the
Yeah.
poor old the poor old kitty, got killed off in 2023.
Yeah.
Um, but it just, sorry, I'm tripping over myself because I, I'm sure me and a lot of other car guys would be just wanting to take him out and hang him by his toes upside down at the edge of the Grand King. It doesn't make sense some of the stuff he's doing. So,
Hmm.
but it's if you watch OC Motivator and watch some of his videos that he talks about it, and Butter the Insider, he both of those channels would be somewhat do a so much better um, job at um, explaining all this stuff. It just sorry, I'm getting all worked up because it doesn't. And then there's some of them that are on there. Where let's wait a second. Talk amongst your folks, self folks. It's rather, yeah.
It's
Here
a
we go.
shame that this has to come to something like this, though. It's almost like so many of the great brands, they're just gone, after a while, or the decisions that are made put the
Oh,
stake through the heart, essentially, at the end. It's unfortunate.
yeah. Well, and then like even these Dodge Demon 170s, their their engines are blown because of poor manufacturing at the
Yeah.
end and design and all that stuff. And the
Not even making good products anymore.
yeah, I mean that was the final hurrah, and then it just yeah, the last call is just yeah, the way this guy said, Butter the Insider, um, he said that it was like 2008 that Tim Kuniskis got put in charge of Dodge and brought it from like bringing back the Challenger and the Charger, you know, releasing the Hellcat engine, the Dodge Demon, brought it up to basically the top of the list. And yeah, even it was funny because he's also saying about how this video here, um, it was just saying about how he got called out, or he was saying how he called out the bosses, whenever he launched the Dodge Banshee,
Mm-hmm.
and then sure enough, like just a short bit later, he either a was asked to got fired, or he said you better resign or whatnot because you know like a couple weeks after that, they go, um, Tim Kuniskis, retired.
Yeah. Right.
So it just, anyways, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking clearly on it because I'm just kind of frustrated about the whole thing. The like the one there was OC Motivator did a video and I made a post in there, and like, oh, it was saying about sell Dodge question mark. I'm like, yes, sell it back to an American company. You bring back the SRT team because he disbanded the SRT team. Those were the engineers that brought the Hellcat, the
Yeah.
Hemi, and all that stuff. Bring all that back. Bring back the Challenger, and get a better Hemi. Because you'll come from last to first again.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. You'll win your market back.
yeah, exactly. Because they'll go, wait, Hemi's back, the Challenger's back, even better. What? You know, um, but you do all that stuff, and you'll come back up out of the basement. Well,
Yeah.
this one guy goes, hey, I mean, he's not arguing. I goes, I forget what he said exactly. And I go, listen, you know, I'm sorry I got the words out, as fast as I could think about them because it's a brand that I love, a car that I liked, a legendary Hemi. I mean, yeah, the Hemi's been around forever. So, but anyways, not to not to rain too much down on you. You know,
No, but a dose of reality and is always welcome, as a part of the shows too.
yeah,
'Cause not
exactly.
everything in life is unfortunately fun or sweet.
Well, but then you see something like this, you the Pontiac. I've ended up finding out about like there's some of these at the end of Car and Driver, the last page of Car and Driver, there was an ad that said Pontiac's back, and everyone started talking about it again, and they're like, is it really coming back or what's it? No, not that. Let's clear that. Let's clear that. But it was just saying about oh, here it is. And if you read, yeah, if you read it, it just says you'd have, I can't really zoom in here. It's not playing nice on Zoom. Oh wait, no, yeah, it's not playing nice because, but yeah, if you read this, it's just funny what the way they say it, and everyone's like speculating. Okay, is it? Are they testing the water?
Yeah, right.
Should we bring Pontiac back and all that? And and basically, it's ripping on Dodge and getting rid of the Challenger. You know, uh,
Gonna
and
say there's an open market opportunity for them to swoop back in if that's the
exactly,
case, since they're pissing off essentially like the entirety of the Dodge market there.
yeah, exactly. And the one video I was watching, he's like trying to decipher it too, and he goes, I don't know, it could be just a joke, it could be real, it could be, hey, let's see how much they talk about it, and I if it wouldn't be like the Dodge Banshee, uh, I'd I would love it to come back. It would be something like the Corvette, where it's a V8, but it's also a hybrid. It's got an
Mhm.
electric motor in it. You would most definitely see the car guys flock to that scene. And if it wouldn't look stupid like a the Dodge Dodge Charger bubble, you know, with all the rounded corners. I Yeah. Anyways, sorry. The I, let's get back into our happy place. Get back
Yeah.
to my happy place. I didn't mean to just
Well,
yeah.
fortunately, next month you'll be in your happy place
Oh yeah.
with your car show. So that should alleviate some of the stress and anxiety you're feeling right now towards the list.
Yeah, I just have to apologize. I tripping over myself trying to think of what to say, and it just yeah. Anyways,
No,
I
it's all good, man. It's all good. We care a lot about these things. So when negative or unfortunate things happen, yeah, we become emotionally compromised, and sometimes that doesn't have the most positive outcomes
this is
for
true.
us.
This is true. Um, we're talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves.
But yeah, at least you'll get to experience good dodges next month. You did say it was dodges that were at the one show, correct?
Yeah,
Specifically,
Chrysler's at Carlisle. It's
yeah,
usually in
Carlisle. Yeah,
July. Yeah, so it's just a matter of making. If it's raining that weekend, obviously I'm not going to go because it's like why and where. It, yeah, it's just not fun whenever it's raining. You
yeah,
drive the 2 hours to go there.
true.
But yeah, that's probably about it. I haven't been there since 2019, so yeah, I'm due to go back.
Yeah, it's been 5 years. You got to get back out there.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
Fingers
So,
crossed for great weather.
anyways, it's been I think what they've been turning on the like you need to get out light out of the garage. My wife's been like opening up the garage door and be like closing it, opening it. Like because I could see it from over or no, it's from this corner
Yeah,
of my eye. So the if I can actually
got to keep the boss happy.
yeah you don't have to tell me twice. Uh
Happy life.
yeah uh-huh. Let's I think let's okay. Oh no no let's remove that from the stage. Sorry folks. That's technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Um so what you got anything coming up or you just kind of since
I've got some work stuff coming up, so I'll be out of town for that primarily, which isn't bad. But yeah, we will be going to the family. We'll be going to Cedar Point here pretty soon for a weekend, so can report back on that afterwards.
oh cool cool okay let me if I oh there it is. That's I got to redo that the video to make it two separate ones instead of all one. And
Uh,
it's a lot easier to find find some stuff in it. But anyways, let's say we close up the garage and get the heck out of here.
all right, man. Sounds good to me.
And I think this might if this doesn't work out correctly, just bear with us, folks. It's technical difficulties, and I'll trying to get better as we do this, type of thing. So just bear with me, bear with us. So, six of one, half dozen of the other.
Yes.
So, but anyways, you have a good day, sir, and a good week, and I will catch you next time.
All right, you do the same. Catch you
Uh,
on the flip side.
yeah, I've been the Mac guy,
And I'm the Coaster Ninja fella dude.
so we will see you later. The garage is closed now.